Number 8. Jay-Z is a time traveler. In all of America, a country with 327 million residents, there are only 607 billionaires. That's less than 1/100,000th of a percent. And one of them is rap's very own Jay-Z. While plenty of rappers are millionaires, hitting the billion-dollar mark is unprecedented, with Jay-Z being the only rapper to currently have reached it. It's this incredible achievement that has left some fans wondering, how exactly did he do it? This conspiracy theory started roughly in 2013 when a photo from 1939 surfaced on Reddit. In the photo, there is a man who looks incredibly similar to Hav, not only resembling him, but also posing with Jay-Z's trademark nonchalance. This is pretty much all the evidence the internet had, but it's all they needed. Before long, Jay-Z's smart business investments, knowledge of the evolving rap game, and incredible self-confidence were all attributed to his time machine. We'll let you decide if the man in the photo is Jigga himself. But here's some food for thought. If Jay-Z was time traveling from the past into the future, how would he have known what companies to invest in? Or even what rap music was? Or maybe he's more like a space tourist, and 1939 was a little vacation from 2062. Who knows? Number 7. Black has fake hair. Possibly the most innocent theory on this entire list may also be the most amusing. Today, Black sports a close to the head lineup, but when he first came into the scene in roughly 2012, he was well known for his head full of bouncy, tousled dreadlocks. In 2018, a YouTuber by the name of Big Sad Eyes posted a video of Black performing at a music festival. Just before the artist steps on stage, he fiddles with his hair, and it appears like the entire set of dreads briefly lifts up from his scalp. Black seems to notice this and quickly fixes it before running on stage. If you're wondering why Black might cover up something so bizarre, you're not alone. Internet sleuths have taken up the case and have concocted the best explanation they can. Black was initially signed to Flo Rida's Imprint on International Music Group in 2011 and found his rise to stardom to be relatively slow. He spent the first few years of his career nearly broke and eventually left the label in exchange for Interscope. Some people maintain that Black's fake hairdo was an attempt to ride the wave of notable artists, namely The Weeknd, who all had distinct hairstyles. Perhaps Black thought it would help him gain some much-needed traction. After watching the video, do you think Black was wearing a wig? Number 6. Gucci Mane is a clone. Since the moment Gucci Mane entered the rap game, he curated a reputation for himself as being really bout it. The rapper was a well-known and feared drug dealer in his hometown of Atlanta, and had famously beaten a murder case. Throughout his career, Gucci was in and out of jail, culminating with the 2013 arrest that ultimately sent the star behind bars for 3 years at the height of his career. When he was released on May 26, 2016, fans were shocked. First off, Gucci looked completely different. He had lost a ton of weight, gotten very fit, and now sported a head full of hair. Second, he seemed to act completely different too. His interviews were much more eloquent, his thoughts collected. He seemed at ease and charismatic. He married his longtime girlfriend. For many, it seemed odd that a man who just spent 3 years in prison came out looking better than when he went in. And fans quickly positioned that maybe, just maybe, this wasn't Gucci at all, but in fact, a clone. There were various theories: that Gucci died in prison and was replaced with a clone, that he is still locked up and using the clone to earn income, or even that the government was using the clone to gain a platform in hip-hop. What does Gucci have to say about this? In his 2017 autobiography, he insists that the answer is simple. His time in prison forced him to face his heavy addiction to lean, which is known to inhibit weight loss, and realized that if he continued down this path, he would lose his career and wealth. The epiphany was enough for LaFleur to turn a new leaf. Number 5. Drake doesn't inhale. On April 18th of 2017, Vice News posted an investigational article on their website about Drake's relationship with marijuana. In the article, they proposed the idea that Drake doesn't know how to properly smoke and has been covering it up for years. Though the article was clearly made in jest, it does provide some interesting proof that made Drake fans everywhere wonder. 2 videos show Drake smoking on screen, but clearly never inhaling the smoke into his lungs, which would mean the rapper was simply miming the act and not truly getting high. On top of this, Drake himself has made some questionable statements about his drug use. In 2012, Drake told the Guardian news source that he smoked weed but not frequently, a claim contradicted by several of his songs, including his song Crew Love, released in 2011. Drake also makes frequent references to smoking on his albums Nothing Was the Same, and If You're Reading This, You're Too Late. Is Drake just pretending to be a smoker to fit in with his peers? Or did the rapper really change his tune about the drug? Let me know your thoughts. Number 4. Kanye's car crash was a hoax. Two facts surrounding Kanye's legendary debut single Through the Wire are undisputed. It's an incredible record, and Kanye really wrapped it with his jaw being wired shut. However, some fans believe that the supposed 2002 car crash that landed Kanye under the knife for facial reconstruction surgery was faked. According to these sleuths, Ye's jaw was actually wrecked in Chicago after a local artist named Payroll attacked him with a champagne bottle. Allegedly, Ye had repurposed a beat meant for Payroll and instead gave it to Jay-Z, the same track that eventually became Never Change on the Blueprint. Outraged and feeling slighted by the compensation, Payroll decided to seek revenge on Kanye. Reasoning as to why this event was allegedly covered up is sparse. Perhaps Ye didn't want to come off as soft or appear as if he had taken the L. While there's much more evidence pointing to the idea that Kanye really was involved in a near-fatal car crash, he has also developed a reputation for being notoriously fickle about beats. Even up to present day, Kanye has found himself at the center of feuds over beats, such as his infamous beef with Drake over the instrumental that eventually became Kanye's nonsensical Lift Yourself. Either way, it's not hard to agree that his broken jaw may have been the single most important thing to happen to his career. Number 3. Streams are fake. The idea that some rappers are using bots and stream farms to pump up the amounts of streams their music receives is not a conspiracy theory. It is a definite fact. It's incredibly easy to buy thousands of streams for just a few dollars, and aspiring rappers use this method all the time. However, the conspiracy comes into play when we begin to wonder who else is using these tactics. In 2019, 21 Savage released his album I Am Better Than I Was, featuring the track A Lot. The digital version of this track had a last-minute guest verse from J. Cole. Cole starts his verse with a simple question, quote, "How many faking they streams?" This turned many heads, especially when one considers that Jay-Z's streaming service, Tidal, was recently under a microscope for this very activity. A Norwegian newspaper published an investigative report that accused the service of fabricating nearly 300 million streams for Rockefeller associates such as Kanye West and Beyonce. It might seem strange for Cole to call out Hove, the same person who discovered and signed Cole early in his career. Some fans are certain that Cole was actually calling out fellow rappers Drake, Post Malone, and Travis Scott, whose streams earned them sales that reached into the 3 million bracket, nearly triple Cole's. Are the most popular artists in the world really as popular as they say they are? Or is this an elaborate scheme to inflate numbers and streaming revenue? Number 2. Tupac is still alive. Probably the most well-known conspiracy theory in all of hip-hop. Many fans of Tupac Shakur believe that he faked his own death in 1996. The most popular theory is that after his fatal shooting on September 7th of 1996, Tupac worked with members of Death Row Records and staff at the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada to stage his own death. From there, he slipped away to Cuba, where he remains alive until this day. Fans of this theory insist that Pac executed this hoax to escape the extreme stress of stardom and the pressure he felt as an advocate for civil and social rights in the mid-90s. Since his death, there have been various sources, celebrities and police officials, that claim Tupac did not die in 1996. There have been at least 10 sightings with photo evidence in everywhere from New Jersey to Malaysia. Even Death Row founder Suge Knight insists that Pac is not dead and will soon return to the studio. Though Suge was well known for his publicity stunts before he was imprisoned for murder in 2018, even Pac's close friend Too Short has backed the CEO's claim. If you want to know more about this conspiracy theory, just Google it. There's over 100 different iterations of the theory floating around, which is more than enough to help you form your opinion. Number 1. Beyonce faked her pregnancy. Jay-Z and Beyonce basically redefined the concept of a power couple and have been extremely open about every aspect of their relationship since they first got together in 2002. So when they announced the impending birth of their first child, Blue Ivy, many fans assumed that they would have the same window into Beyonce's pregnancy as they did with many other aspects of her life. What Bey provided was much less. Throughout her pregnancy, Beyoncé released a handful of photos of her and her pregnant belly exposed. When she finally went into labor, she closed down an entire floor of a Manhattan hospital, and no details about the birth were leaked until after. This all led to fans speculating that Beyoncé had faked her pregnancy, supplementing this theory with one appearance from an Australian talk show where Beyoncé's baby bump seems to fold onto itself. The belly, fans argued, was an inflatable prop. Even talk show host Wendy Williams was an advocate of the theory. As for the reason for all this, the internet was not short on theories. Everything from fertility issues to Jay-Z fathering an illegitimate child, to Beyoncé simply making the choice because she didn't want to go through 9 months of pregnancy. Fans were entrapped with the idea of Beyoncé, known for her pristine public image, covering up a surprising detail about her life. We'll decline to share our opinion and let the evidence speak or not speak for itself. Did any of these conspiracies surprise you? Do you believe any of them? Let me know in the comments section below, and before you leave, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to the channel.